Thank you for inviting us. Yeah, my name is Katerina. Yeah, and I'm a Ukrainian. I live in Kiev right now. And my colleague and CEO of the company that started this project at the first place, Makino-san, he's also here present. Yeah. So let us start with the company that started this project. It is a Sami company. It is mostly associated with development of website and softwares, and the company also has several projects on consulting, like PR and marketing projects for other businesses. So yeah, it was founded in 2017. So here's some photos of my colleagues. Most of my colleagues, they are located in Shimane in Japan. And since the launch of our fundraising campaign, me and my colleague Komi-san, you can see us here, we were able to join this team and to start working with the Dopomoga project. Yeah, so give me a moment. Yeah, so as we see from the statistics, most of the Ukrainians that choose to relocate from Ukraine, from the country because of the war, they choose to go to the countries nearby, like Poland, Germany, Czech Republic, and so on, mostly because it's easier to get there and because maybe their relatives live there, maybe their friends, maybe they had some experience working there, because it's quite common to go working to Europe right now for the Ukrainians. And only 2,000 people, 2,000 Ukrainians, they relocated and chose Japan as their main destination. And some of the reasons for that might be that first, the distance between Japan and Ukraine, maybe psychological distance, maybe physical distance, right? So they might don't consider Japan as an option to relocate, to go there to find a job, for example, and so on. And at first, most of the information about the government support, the local government support, it was published in Japanese, so it was quite complicated for the Ukrainians to find this information. And this started the project. The main aims, the most objectives that we had is to make it easier to find this kind of information, either in Ukrainian, in Russian. Yeah, we share such information as like the support that is provided by the government, maybe some job offers that the Japanese companies provide. And yeah, so we have several pages on the website. One of them is the housing page. We have a map with the contact information about the prefectures, the official websites where the Ukrainians could find some contact information if needed, if they need to find some accommodation, like housing in Japan. And another page that is really important is the job offers that we add on the website. We publish new vacancies and information about the companies that are that are willing to help Ukrainians and that are ready to provide some job opportunities for them. So you can see it right here. As for the ways that we collect this information for some accommodation. We provide resources, official resources, and as for the job offers, we communicate and contact the Japanese companies, get their consent if they're okay with that, if we add this information on the website. And after that, we publish it on Dopomoga website. Yep, and another issue that might arise is that some of the Ukrainians, they don't have that much experience traveling to Japan, traveling to any other distant countries. So they usually choose larger cities for the relocation, and such cities as Tokyo, Tokyo, they have already 25% of all the Ukrainians that moved to Japan during this year. And the problem might arise as it is not that easy to find accommodation there, the housing there, and that is why we created a special page with the prefecture description. Right now we have a Shimane prefecture page. I will show you. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see.
So yeah, we have just a small map Ukrainians could see. We have some vacancies, the job offers that are available in this area. We also describe some main fields of work of the companies operating there, and the minimal compensation that people could get there, some pros of living there. And yeah, so this way we make sure that the Ukrainians might learn about the other areas, not just Tokyo, Osaka, and so on. So yeah. So mostly we share that information through the social media, the Facebook page. We also have a Telegram channel. And we provide some valuable information for the Ukrainians that are already in Japan. For example, we cover some topics as how to get a driver's license, for example, how to get a medical insurance, for example, or how to rent a car or something like that. And we also make sure to cover some questions that could be important for the Ukrainians that just consider this option to go to Japan, such as we usually get questions about is it possible to find a job if I cannot speak Japanese and I can speak English only, for example, like that. And if my children could continue visiting Ukrainian schools online, being in Japan, is it possible? So we get questions like that. And we trying to cover these on our social media. Yeah, and as for the process of our communication with the Ukrainians, they usually contact us through the website. We have 2 Google Forms, so they can send a request if they have just questions about the process of going to Japan, or if they want to apply for a job that they could find on the website. And they usually choose Facebook and Telegram. They send the messages there as well. So after they contact us, we usually reply to the emails, or if they are interested in a job, I would also arrange a short video call with them just to clarify some details, to know where they're allocated right now, to know how many people need this help. Yeah, I would ask them about their experience, how they relocated from Ukraine if they're, for example, in Europe right now. And once we collect all this information, we are able to contact the companies and arrange an interview for the Ukrainians. And since we are not an agency, we are not an HR agency, and our aim is to just to provide the information for the Ukrainians about job offers. We always encourage them to communicate with the companies directly once they have this interview. So, and as for some results of our work, yeah, and as for the results, we we have received 30 inquiries in September and 38 in October, which means that the Ukrainians send us messages in Facebook, for example, or they filled in our forms, Google Forms, and we communicated with them after that directly. Yep, and 4 Ukrainians have already found a job through the website. They were able to find important information and and connected with the company. And yeah, we do have several cases that are still in progress with the Ukrainians that are ready to be interviewed and that want to find some job opportunities in Japan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Katya, thank you for your presentation. Let me add some points about our activity. And so actually 30 inquiries in September and more than 30 in October. That means that new user inquiries. So I mean it's a new user acquisition in some meanings. And so day by day, the number of inquiries which Ekaterina is working on is getting bigger and bigger. And the number of new user visiting for our site is monthly like 1,030, around 1,030 or 1,000 or 600, yeah, 1,600, 1,300, more than around already around 2,000 per month. This is a monthly the number. So this is a new user acquisition from the viewpoint of the site. And also, yeah, 4 Ukrainians have already found a job, but actually 7 Ukrainians could get like job opportunities, but unfortunately some of them couldn't come to Japan because of the like they couldn't get visa. So this is one of our problems which we are facing, which we are working on. Actually the Japanese government or like Japanese foreign affairs is getting like close the door for Ukraine to Japan, and we tried to get interviewed by NHK, like a national TV media, but unfortunately the journalist whom I told the whole story couldn't this TV program on the show. So this is a really problem, but we're working on it. And also, as Ekaterina mentioned, the problem is the concentration of the Ukrainian in Tokyo or other big cities. So we are really considering how we can decentralize. I mean, send to the other regional cities, which has more manufacturing industry or like agricultural industry, which doesn't need Japanese language level. And actually, in these cities, the companies is owned by like business owners. So that means it's not a big, huge company with this side of very long. The small mid-sized company actually very they are very quick, and they are really more like close to the Ukrainian people, and we really want the Ukrainian people to go to the regional cities, countryside in Japan. So this is also what we're working on. Yeah, so we got some result through our activities, but we're continue to working on, and the Catalina is very working hard on that, and thanks to her, really so many hot warm words from Ukrainian people, Ukrainian refugees. So I very appreciate Ekaterina, and thank you guys. Thank you for inviting us to this today's group session. So if we could somehow collaborate with each other, it was really great. And so今後ともよろしくお願いします。